As I mentioned before, there were a couple of critics that have attempted to call the film propaganda. So they're accusing me of being a propagandist for biotechnology, for the industries that would benefit from GMOs. So I say, what is your evidence of that? I have the evidence that all of my science is founded, that I took no money from biotechnology to make this film. And that's the end of it. The other problem with those people signing that letter is, guess what? 90% of them had never seen the film. So if that isn't a fail of honest communication, I don't know what is. How do you call something you've never even seen propaganda? And that shows their ideology from my point of view. They hear pro-GMO film and they just shut down. And that's a real shame. So to speak honestly, of course being called a propagandist is a terrible, terrible thing to be called. And I'm speaking pretty calmly today and attempting to not get angry at the camera. It's not the camera's fault that I'm being asked this. But it is very frustrating, and I have gotten angry about this in Q&As and things like that. But I know that I'm not a propagandist. I know I can sleep well at night. I know I can look my children and my wife and my family in the eye and say that I stand by this film. And they've seen how hard I work on this film, and they've seen the science to support the film. So the evidence is on my side, and I go back to the term that I used before, which is a slur is not an argument, right? So somebody calling me a propagandist is just trying to make people not listen to me. I take my work very, very seriously. Most filmmakers do. I've been working out of this for over a quarter of a century, and I love filmmaking dearly. I'm a filmmaker, I'm a storyteller, I'm a journalist, and I take all of that very, very seriously. In making documentaries, we get to use reality, the truth, as the pieces that we're making a story out of. And I take that with great, great pride. It was an incredible honor to be nominated for an Academy Award. And that is something that I take very, very seriously, and I would not jeopardize that to make a film of propaganda. So yes, I hope I can put this behind me. But controversy is also interesting, so we can look at it from that angle too. France and Europe is known as being anti-GMO, but let's peel that back to what it really means, and I hope you will come and see the film to further this conversation. When someone says France is anti-GMO, shouldn't we follow in their footsteps? I say, well, France is not perfectly anti-GMO because 90% of their meat is fed GMO feed. That GMO feed is just coming from places like Brazil, so they've sort of farmed out some of their GMO farming. Some citizens of France might not know that, but let's look at the whole picture. Other citizens in France are probably getting GMO insulin or buying cheese that's made with GMO, rennet. So again, look at it case by case and really look to the science. So I hope the film in France will lower fear around GMOs and raise the passion around science, right? Raise the passion around using science to make decisions and not just political affiliation and all our tribal affiliations of country or religious experience or whatever it is that makes you kind of come to your tribe and not see outside of it. So I ask people to get outside their confirmation bias and really look to the science to make these decisions. I can't wait to see how France responds to the film. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. It's such a great honor to have the film playing in France.